Yesterday, I shared with you that Berkshire Hathaway had outperformed the S&P 500 by 3x from 2000 through 2023, and that Warren Buffett had his largest holdings for Berkshire Hathaway in Apple, second largest in Bank of America. And I sat back and I thought, look, this is a guy who's shown he's better than the average, which is the S&P 500. Why don't I make him my number one, my closest friend, my financial advisor? Because all the information is there. All I've got to interpret it. So I then showed you his portfolio. Well, I dug deeper into it, and I want to share with you what I found and what I've done, which if you had asked me earlier this weekend, would you do this? I'd say, hell no, I wouldn't do it, but I did it anyway. And let me show you what I did.
Best of Us Investors presents Kerry Griegmeyer.
The most money I've made in the shortest period of time in the stock market occurred after the coronavirus. I had moved heavily into cash because of Warren and Charlie saying this debt that the country is running up is getting ridiculous. And so I was sitting with a lot of cash. And as I saw the coronavirus come in and the stock market crash, I went in and bought American Express, McDonald's, Valero Oil, because I said, this is a temporary event. And the market's going to come back. So now is the time to buy in, and it paid off big time. So I'm sitting here looking at that Bank of America as Warren's second holding, and I'm saying, this is a one-time event. The banks are crashing. There's a whole lot of fervor around it and fear. And so everybody's selling off. And I thought, well, which is the best bank to invest in? And so what did I do? I went back to Warren's portfolio, and let me show you what I found. Okay, here we are back at Warren's portfolio. And as I said, his biggest holding is Apple. His second biggest holding shared here is that of Bank of America and then Chevron. But then I got to thinking, is that really how his portfolio is structured? And so I did some digging and asked some questions. And actually, Warren's biggest holding is $129 million in cash. What's he got? 116 in Apple. So he's sitting with 30% of his portfolio or his capital right now in cash. I'm going to at least that much. You're going to start seeing me liquidating a lot of marginal holdings. Then the next thing that really stuck out at me was, okay, let's analyze this portfolio a little bit further. And yes, he's in 39%, call it Apple. What is that? That's computers, phones, household electronics. And so I then went through all of his holdings and categorized them, such as Bank of America is banking services. Chevron is oil and gas. And so I went through and I said, okay, he's not a tech guy, but he has Apple. But wait a second. He's got Activision. That's a tech company. He's got HP. That's a tech company. And I went through and basically categorized all of his holdings. And what I came up with of investments, 43.6% is in tech, 20% is in bank and banking services, 13% is in oil and gas, and 9% is in food and beverages. And I've included things like Kraft and what else? Food and beverages did I have here? Kroger. And so what I wanted to do was say, okay, now let's look at your categories, Kerry, and how do they match up with the guy who's outperformed the S&P 500 threefold since 2000? Well, one of the things I immediately saw is I'm sitting with my reaction to Vladimir Putin's aggressive actions and Xi Jinping's. And that means I've got Lockheed Martin, I've got Raytheon, and I've got Northrop Grumman. Warren's totally ignoring that. So am I smarter than Warren? Sold my Lockheed Martin. I was up 6%, took my profits and bought, you got it, I bought Bank of America. Because again, number one, it's Warren's second largest holding of his portfolio, invested portfolio, 20% in the banks. And again, the other thing that I recognized is this is a temporary event, much as the coronavirus was a temporary event. So you invest in those things that the fear and the anguish and the pain has inflicted most on. And so I bought Bank of America. I don't know how long I'll hold it, but I'm going to depend on my new best friend, my new financial advisor, and I'm going to watch Warren. I'm going to set up a Google Alerts, and anything that has Warren Buffett on it, I'm going to read it. I'm going to make a point of every time he has his quarterly reports, go through his forms, find out what he's bought, find out what he's sold, and I'm going to become Warren's second best friend. In fact, I think what I'll do is I'll buy some of Warren's B shares so that the next time they hold that annual meeting, I'm going to go meet Warren. I mean, it just makes sense to me. If this guy can beat the S&P 500 by 3x, there might be some hedge funds that do that, but they aren't going to share their data with me. But Warren does. So that's what I've come to look at. Then what I did, just for your information, I went on and said media and beverages, 1.52%, insurance, and I had always heard that Warren was big on insurance, less than 1%. Telecommunication services, less than 1%. Pharmaceuticals, 3.8%. And then this is telecommunicate. What was that? That was pharmaceuticals. I've got telecommunications here twice. So let's put those two together, and it's about less than 1%. So that's how I went through this. You can do the same thing, or you can save this part of the video and go through it and analyze it yourself. But again, I just come back to I'd be a fool not to take the lead from the guy who has outperformed the market consistently. Okay, now, what do we do? How do we liquidate what we've got, and how do we analyze that? I think there's two takeaways here. One is Warren has given us a proven history. We have access to his portfolio. Let's use it to our advantage. The second is let's turn a negative event into a positive event. And what do I mean by that? Well, the coronavirus was a negative event. It took the market and took it down 35-40%. And in particular, those stocks that were going to be affected by the shutdown of the coronavirus. Well, the same thing just happened. We had banking failures. And so we don't want to probably go into the weak banks, but the banks that have been hurt hard, the big banks, we want to buy them now and take advantage of a negative event and then ride them up and then watch Warren, see what he does, and make a decision accordingly. No, this has been a wake-up for me. I'm a very positive person. I believe that genome sequencing and genome editing is going to change my life. I believe that I will someday drive an electric vehicle, but those things are now just pushed back because we have a banking crisis opportunity and we have good guidance from a guy who can outperform the S&P. So that's my take on this. This is a revelation for me. I hope you see this as an opportunity to educate yourself, and you'll go dig a little bit deeper and to come to some conclusions. I also want you to remember, he's got 30% in cash right now. So get rid of some things that maybe you've lost some money on and use this as an opportunity to get exponential gains from the banking industry that has gotten hurt so bad. Okay, that's my, connect the dots of today. I'll probably have some dots to connect again tomorrow. So what should you do? Again, analyze what I've told you, but more importantly, no, not more importantly, but also subscribe and ring the bell so that, in fact, you get notified when I put out a new video. And then go and join our tribe. Go to the into the description, find the link to our Discord, and come become a part of our team, our tribe. People who want to work together to make better investment decisions. We'll do some more of this tomorrow.